And we're live.
Hello. Hello, good morning. We are live again. Um, I'm Beena from UK. I'm introducing myself to all my new followers. Thank you for being in touch with me and liking my page and commenting. I really appreciate that. Without my followers, I can't do anything. So I really appreciate. And today I have my beautiful model from India. She started her digital business, our very own Nandini Sen with us today. So we are just going to have a discussion about the comparison in our life. And Nandini, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi,
Every day we have new followers, so they need to know who we are.
hi everybody, namaste from India. मैं आप सबको स्वागत करती हूँ and thank you for showing me so much love. 26,000 followers. I
Wow.
can't believe it, but thank you. I just love my Facebook page. I love my business page, and I bless all of you and hope one day that you also are as happy as I am.
Thank you, Nandini. Thank you. So, Nandini, the topic we chose to discuss today is the comparison. The reason I chose that topic today was that the other day I saw a comment in one of the community group to say that this person wanted to buy a house. That person was migrated to UK, and all that person's friend bought the house, and that person can't afford to buy the house because they don't have the finance, and that person was feeling so depressed looking around others, not looking at yourself. So I thought that we need to have a discussion about a comparison. It's just not about the business, it's about our day-to-day life. And
Yes.
if you look at people in our community, why all this, like, self-harm, suicide, all this sort of thing, the harm happen because we look at others and their progress. Yeah. So I think it's good to have a discussion about that. What is your opinion about that, Nandini?
I totally agree with you. On Saturday, I was teaching our community a session, and I talked a lot about this, about not comparing to another person and feeling lack within yourself.
Yeah.
A very, very dear friend of mine who I love very much. I can't even talk about him in past tense. Such a beautiful boy, so bright, so handsome, intelligent, well spoken, one of the nicest human beings that I knew, well brought up, and he joined the movies. A good actor also. Somehow his choices, and that does happen in our lives, just didn't give him the success that he hoped for. So
Yeah.
because of comparison, he started drinking, he started doing drugs, and eventually he died at the early age of 54. And my heart just breaks when I think of things like that. Like in our business, for example, we have so many people, and it's very easy not to be kind. I see sometimes people putting up posts with like a backhand slap compliment. You know, you wouldn't want that written about you, but you write it in a very like, oh, I'm doing khatir to you, but with a kind of a slap to the other person. That's so wrong. Be kind, because you are blossoming in your goodness. So offer that to everybody as well. Secondly, don't judge another. For Mother's Day, one of my colleagues, she had put, like, her kids had given her burger and milkshake and chips. One could easily say, oh God, what a post. The next day I had burgers for lunch. What I'm saying is we can celebrate each other instead of comparing, instead of judging. We can celebrate each other, and we can, wise people only praise, and wise people understand that God has given me this, so with this, let me make my lemonade. With
Yeah.
this, let me live in the best way. And we can constantly be thinking that person has a house, that person has a Mercedes Benz. I travel by auto, I travel by cab. What a waste of a life. What a waste of your life, because we all have skills that are wonderful, that we can use to good, we can use for praise, we can use to be kind, we can use to love each other. So I feel that, Beena. I feel I
Definitely, yeah.
cannot life with
When
comparison.
when I saw that post, Nandini, I felt really sad. I was thinking why that person has to think in that way. For
Yes.
everything, there is a time. But
Yes.
with that, we have to work towards to get wherever you wanted to. You need to
Yes.
start somewhere. If it is in your career, try to learn new things and rank up in your career. If you are doing any traditional business, whatever you do in your life, find a
Yes.
creative way to make some extra money to do what you want to do rather than being depressed, because the moment you go into that depressed mood, that feeling has taken over, the emotion has taken over your life, then
Yes.
you, even if you want to do things, you are stuck in that place. It becomes so difficult.
Yeah, and God wants us to celebrate every moment. God
Yes.
wants us to enjoy, to live in that spirit of enthusiasm. But if you're going to always compare and judge, you can't. It's
No,
only
it
a
is.
kind heart, it's only a loving heart that can also be celebratory, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, I feel that when you are grateful, thankful for everyday little things in your life, God will give you more.
Yes.
Every day
Yes.
when I think, when I see your post, you every single day, like you put a gratitude post, and I think, yeah, this is amazing, this is amazing. And we have to be grateful because we have a
Yeah.
life to live, we have a family to look after, we have a
Yeah.
good, friends community to cherish each other. If you find it difficult with people, like Nandini said, if people are negative, don't be with them. Try to be with positive people where they lift you up rather
Yeah.
than being with the negative, being
Yeah.
in that, very bad relationships. Just get out from that and live your own life. Then you don't have to think about any of those things.
Exactly, exactly. It's really so true what you say, Beena. So, I've just started doing this. If I see somebody putting these very mean kind of things and all, I just quietly say that I don't want to see posts like this anymore. I don't want that in my life. I want my life to be simple, sweet, enjoyable, where I'm with people who love each other, who praise each other, who'll be kind to each other. If you can't be all that, it's a waste of a life, according to me. It's an
Yeah.
absolute waste. At a very early age, I learned to feel delighted by people and by life, and to
Yeah.
find those things. Look, either we can live your life in this moment, finding the delightful things, or we can live our lives in this moment, finding the things we can grumble about. That's
Yeah.
up to us. That's up to us. We can look at the clouds and say, there's a silver lining in every cloud. Or we
Yeah.
can look at clouds and say, oh my God, it's going to rain. Now what? We have a choice, right?
Yeah. That's why I said, with the way you look at, the way you interpret things, the way you have interaction with the other person, that all makes changes in our life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yes.
that's why in our business, I know I link everything back to our business. That's why in our business, the founders who started it 9 years ago now, I think, they are very, very focused on having a positive mindset. Very focused. Because can you imagine if a 250,000 people are all like crabs? They want you to be down, they want you to be zero. How sad it would be. So they encourage us to have a positive mindset. They encourage us to work on that every single day, right? We have so many
Definitely.
courses available to us for that.
Definitely, definitely. And I think, that is the very important factor, Nandini, that is why we have in our business, like you said, we have that amazing community to support each other, to lift yourself up. But then we all have this, but you need to think whether you want to be in that or not. People come to the business, but yet they go out because they can't be in that community, because we all have certain behaviors, certain attitude, and some people can handle that.
No, no. Because
yeah,
the thing is, life one has to be personally accountable and personally responsible. And when you're personally accountable and personally responsible for living in gratitude, for living with kindness of heart, for living with enthusiasm, then you make sure that what you do and how you allow yourself to think even is just
yes,
that.
yeah,
We have to be careful of how we think, how we feel. Our Beena lives in service. She's a dementia specialist. So her life is serving another person. So she lives in that space of service. What a beautiful way to live, Beena. Really. I
yeah.
admire
I
you.
do. I love my job. Actually, I love my job uh,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I think that the people who suffer with the memory problem, it's really sad. It is
Yeah,
really, really sad. It's really sad.
it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's sad.
yeah,
Yeah. So anything else you'd like to say, or should we wind up now?
yeah. We can wind up. Yeah,
Okay, superb. So we'll be back with more for you guys. Bye. Have a blessed day. Be
yeah.
happy.
Thank you for watching us and supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you.